Good morning, guys. Welcome to the video. It is a gloomy, beautiful Sunday morning. I just had one of the best sleeps I've had in weeks. I'm feeling amazing. So this is day 2 of adding this into my morning routine. Usually I'm taking greens in the morning, but the main thing, like I take a multivitamin as well. So I've been thinking really the only thing I want from the greens is like probiotic. And I coincidentally just got this from Savannah. This is Coconut Cult. And anyway, it's supposed to be a pretty intense probiotic. You can't use metal spoons. You have to use a plastic spoon, and you can't double dip because apparently that will just kill whatever bacteria is in there that's actually good for you. So Savannah took like a tablespoon of this, and then it was really intense. She got nauseous, like hot sweats and everything like that. I had a tiny little bit yesterday and I felt fine, so we'll see. Oh. We'll find out. So for the past month maybe, instead of pre-workout, like I've been taking on an empty stomach for the past like 11 years, I was like, maybe that isn't great for my gut and my overall nervous system to just be waking up and just downing all these crazy chemicals and stuff. And also I do like an hour and a half of deep work before I go to the gym every morning. And sometimes like the pre was really nice and tasted good to sip on that. You'd be getting like the jitters in the middle of my work session. And then by the time I got to the gym, I'd almost be hitting that crash. And so the main thing I really liked about that was, of course, you get like the nootropics from some of the pre's, you get the stimulants, but it was really like the ritual of like mixing up the same thing every morning and then sitting down at my desk and having that same taste. So what I've replaced it with, I've been fiddling with it here, I've got beetroot powder. So I put in water some beetroot powder, a couple cranks of salt, and then I also have a coffee that I can sip for caffeine. I take L-tyrosine, L-theanine, and acetyl L-carnitine. It's kind of the nootropic stack there. And and then in the mixture as well, I put in taurine, straight taurine, and L-citrulline. So that's gonna help with energy and pump at the gym. And so far, I've been absolutely loving this concoction. The lovely, foggy view. So, pretty big announcement for Sway. We've finally placed our order a couple weeks ago for our first batch of miniaturized electronics. And so what this means is in a few weeks, hoping everything goes according to plan, we're gonna have 10 units together to give to ourselves and to beta testers and actually have our product in the field finally in use. So it's crazy. This is I feel like I've been saying this for so long. This is gonna be such a huge milestone for us. And obviously like the real work is just beginning at that point. But like that's 0 to 1. That's going from just an idea that we had to an actual physical product that we've manufactured that we're holding that people can actually use and get benefit from. So 4 of these units are going to be reserved for us founding members and giving the rest to peers, friends, advisors, other people that want to be part of the beta test. And so assuming everything goes to plan, our goal right now is in the early fall to be launching a pre-order campaign to sell out our first 100 units. So we don't have that pre-order open just yet, but we do have an email only waitlist on our website. And so if you are interested in just staying up to date or being the first in line for that pre-order, you can sign up for that and just stay in the loop with what's going on, our timeline, any updates, and make sure that you're first to take advantage of that early release. Yeah, I'm super excited. And so that brings me to what I am working on today. What I'm working on today is our mobile app. So we've made the leaps and bounds on our web app and also just all the data and insights on the back end. And so now I'm taking all that progress we've made and I'm translating that over into a mobile app for iOS. And so I've got mostly everything already built. What I'm battling over the next couple days is performance. Performance can get really bad. So we have some of these pages like here, for example, let me pick this up. I'm gonna shorten this bit and I'm gonna flip around here. There we go. Now this ain't gonna work. Oh yeah, here we go. Now we're doing it. Okay, so we have this vitals page. So if I'm on the dashboard, and also this is a dev client, an Expo dev client build, so it is a lot slower than it's actually going to be, but still, it's still pretty slow. So let me see, I can go to vitals and see kind of like an overview of some of the main like key points I want for the day. Okay, so I can see under performance, my focus score, my focus goal. Okay, let me go to a day that I actually have a tiny little bit of data. Okay, this was one, I just recorded some test data on this day, so my focus wasn't this bad, I swear. So you can see your focus score, your goal, how long it took you to get in the zone, and so your flow latency, that's basically on average across your sessions, how long did it take you to get to 90% of what your max score was for that session. And then flow sustainment, what's the longest you were able to hold above that 90% of your max score. You can also see your peak flow time against your typicals. So typically I'm 6:30 to 7 a.m. is when I have my best flow time. On this particular day, that was at 3:30 to 4 p.m. And I can also see my dominant state inside this like balance here. The whole thing with this is like, it's kind of the idea of like, say you're a physical athlete, you want to balance out your training and workouts and stuff with adequate rest. So for example, say I'm spending a lot of time in flow or a lot of time off the deep end in kind of an overwhelmed state. I want to balance that out on the other side with some good time in relaxation. So you can see what your dominant state was for that day. I can see where I kind of got most overwhelmed during the day, and so you can see that's typically later in the day. This might be when like you're kind of realizing all of your tasks might not get done, you're scrambling at the end of the day, you're starting to get hungry for supper and everything, and things just aren't going well. So you can know when is a good time that you might want to take a break during your day, or maybe schedule a snack time to get an apple, have a spoonful of honey, whatever. And I can also see what tags I used on this day, my time track, yada yada. So that was just a long way to show what I'm trying to optimize here is there's a lot of data, and I hid a couple of our cards that are very heavy right now and hurting performance that I'm gonna bring back later on. I just wanna get a win without those ones first. So let me re-grip here. I wanna be able to swipe as fast as I can without it dying like that, you see? And so I can open up the performance monitor here, and so you can see your JavaScript frames per second. That'll show you if stuff that you have is blocking the main JS thread. And so if I zoom back to today, you can see it dropped all the way to 31 there. Now if I move this up here, if I really start swiping, and when it trips up, you can see it drops all the way down to single digits. We don't want that. I don't want it really going below 30 frames per second, and once you get below there, like kind of below 24, is when you might start noticing some lag with the actual human eye. So yeah, fun stuff, performance. But the app is looking pretty good in my opinion. I'm very excited to have that downloaded on my phone and just kind of compulsively check it, to be honest. Yeah, in about a week and a half, in about 2 weeks maybe, hopefully, we'll have these electronics in. Our frame manufacturing and electrode manufacturing has just been getting better and better. We're exploring different methods because off the bat we've been 3D printing them, but we're actually starting to cast the frames ourselves. So the material's a lot more durable, it's smoother, it looks a lot better, and so it's going to be a lot better for our first actual production run. I'm excited, man. I'm very, very excited. We've been talking about this for so long, and I can't wait to actually just showcase our product on this channel. It's going to be amazing. The workout meal is served. We've got a bowl of creamy rice with half of a banana and some frozen fruit, and I'm drizzling on some honey. This stuff is awesome. Awesome. Sometimes if I like stay long at my desk before I go to the gym, if it's on like a weekend like this, I'll start to get hungry, and I don't want to be like starving and under fueled when I'm going to hit a big leg day. So I ended up picking some of this stuff up. It's literally just plain white rice, nothing else. It's like ground up and it's just a powder. And then pop it in to a bowl, microwave it with some water, and then you get this nice creamy rice. And then I put in some fruit for flavor, extra carbs, vitamins and stuff. But one of the big things for adding fruit in is the rice digests so fast, the creamy rice. And so if I don't like cut it with some fruit, I'll just like digest it instantly and get a crazy spike and then like probably crash too fast. This kind of helps like taper that and delay that spike.
Entrepreneur should be considered a job title in all modern companies that depend on innovation for their future growth. Startups exist not just to make stuff, make money, or even serve customers. They exist to grow.
Just wrapped up a call with the team. We were closing out our previous cycle and planning our next 2-week cycle, basically our sprint. We're using linear and they call them cycles, but cycle, sprint, whatever you want to call it. This way we have our priorities straight going into our work weeks. We all still have full-time jobs, and to really make sure that we're actually moving in the right direction at the right pace, we need to make sure we have things pretty planned out and everybody knows exactly what they need to be doing at any moment in time so we can make the most of it. Yeah, I kind of forgot I was recording today. After the gym, I went to Costco and it was an absolute zoo there, packed. I couldn't even find parking. It took me a while to get my stuff, but I got a huge haul. I got like two 2.5 kilogram things of ground beef. I got 2 packs of chicken breast. I got 1 giant pack of pork chops. I got a bunch of frozen fruit for smoothies, bananas. I got some pumpkin seeds and almonds and raisins. I figured I used to do that a bunch as a kid, or my parents did. Like, they'd always send in my lunch a little baggie with those 3 things in it. And I was absolutely starving when I was in Costco, so I was really caught my eye, and I figured I'd get some more and bring those snacks back. But yeah, food is prepped. I have groceries now for the next 2 weeks. Savannah is getting back in the middle of the night or early morning or something. She's just leaving New York by car right now. She fortunately has a friend that's also going to share the driving, but glad it's not me right now. Now it's about 4:45 and I'm taking off to head out to my family's place for our every week Sunday supper. It's always a nice little relaxation and a little bit of a break because I don't normally give myself much of a break on these weekends. Just during this build phase where I have my full-time job, but we're trying to get Sway off the ground. As soon as I get to the weekends, it would be more stressful for me to take time off and relax. Like, I just spend my weeks looking forward to the time that all the ideas that are bouncing around, all the things we have to do, just until the time I can actually put in that deep work on Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So I really make the most of those, and then I'm always a little burnt out and just need the space away from the desk by the time Sunday night rolls around. So it's always great to go and recoup and spend that with family. But yeah, we're making this happen one step at a time. Soon enough, we're gonna have a product here, and I'm excited. It's been a long journey and we're getting there. So I appreciate you guys for following along, and we've got some exciting few months coming up. So stay tuned. Catch you in the next one.